A developer is someone who develops, who build. So a developer can be a coder. It, he or she can be a tester, a business analyst, a SME, subject matter expert, a technical architect, an enterprise architect, anyone who is helping in building your product or solution is a developer. Now let's look at what does a developer do in a Scrum team. First point, he or she is committed to create usable increment every sprint. What does that mean? Now let's take an example that the team wanted to build a website that allow user to log in with a defined username and password. And a sprint is the duration in which they want to build this capability. So consider we have a duration of 2 weeks in which right from the scratch, the team want to build a functionality in which user can log in with the given username password. That is for say one sprint. Now in the next sprint, you can even think of building more capability of selling product on your website. That is your next increment. In the next or in the third sprint, you can think of giving various payment options to buy this product, whether it's credit card, whether it's cash on delivery, whether it's debit card or any other digital money that you want to transact with. So it's important to understand developers are someone who create usable increment every sprint. Now let's look at what they are accountable for. So first thing they are accountable is creating a plan for the sprint. There can be a possibility that in a given sprint, say in 2 weeks period, team does more work and in other sprint, they perform less work. This could be because of the fact that in the next sprint, there are a lot of long weekends or holiday season, for example, Christmas. Now, during that lean period, the team will decide because very less members are available, we plan to deliver less work. Now, this differentiates Scrum from other frameworks. Scrum suggests that reality should win. It's the reality that should be considered in every sprint planning. And that's the reason it is up to the developers to plan what can be delivered in a sprint. We'll talk about sprint and sprint planning in my future videos when we look at various Scrum events. But for the time being, just understand it's developers' responsibility to create a plan for a sprint. They should also adhere to definition of done. What does definition of done means in simple terms? Suppose you take my previous example of creating a website in which user can log in with a given username password. Your definition of done could be that it should work on all popular browsers. So it has to work on Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Netscape, whatever. And it's important that it should work if required on the mobile devices as well. And then we say it has completed its definition of done. We'll talk about definition of done also in the future videos in detail. But to understand, there is already defined statement at every sprint which help the developers to say when something is complete and when it is not. So it's that finish line which if they cross, they will say it's done for that sprint. The next point is they adapt plan towards sprint goal. As we have seen, one of the important pillars of Scrum is adaptation. So at the beginning of every sprint planning, the team as a whole decide a sprint goal. It can be one goal, it can be multiple goals. And as the team deviate a little bit, they try to adapt towards these sprint goals. And last but not the least, as the developers are humans, so it is bound to happen that they will make mistakes. And when they make mistakes, it's important to give respect and behave professionally. And in that sense, they hold each other responsible and accountable professionally. So, in short, developers are someone or group of people that develop the actual capability, the solution, or the product. They are accountable for the plan within a duration, which we call a sprint. They make sure that they adopt the work based on the sprint goals that they have set. They adhere to the definition of done, and they hold each other accountable as professional. This, in short, is what developer in a Scrum team is all about. Thank you very much for watching the video, and let's carry on our learning journey.